Hello class 103, today is Thursday, March 19th, 2020, and today we're going to be doing Storytown Workbook, page 76 and 77. So, if you would just pause the video while you take out your Storytown workbooks, we can get started. Bing. Okay, so pause the video if you have to. So if we look at page 76, we have this chart right here, okay? So, what we're going to do for the chart is, we have three parts to it, right? We have the K, the W, and the L. So the K, the W, and the L. So what I want you guys to do in the K, so imagine that we're talking about before you guys read about the rainforest babies. So before that happened, what did you know about rainforest animals? So before the reading, what did you know about rainforest babies? So before we started reading this, the story, what did you know about animals that lived in the rainforest? Did you know what kind of animals lived there? What they ate? Did you know anything about rainforests? What they look like? Where they are? So anything that you might have already known before the reading, you're going to put in the K section, okay? So that's the top section. Now, in the W section, this is what I want to know. About rainforest animals. So again, in W, we're talking about before we started reading. So what did you want to know before we read this story? Did you want to know about a particular animal? Did you want to know about what animals eat in the rainforest? So any question that you might have had before we read the story, that goes in here. And then in the L, this is what you learned, what I learned about rainforest animals after the reading. So these are all the things that you learned after you had already read this story, okay? So what did you learn? Did you learn about animals? Did you learn about rainforests? What kind of animals did you learn about? Anything that you learned from the story, that goes in here. So one more time. This one is what you knew about the rainforest before we read the story. This one is things that you want to know before we read the story. So before we read, what did you want to know about the rainforest and animals? And the last one is, what did you learn after reading the story? So give me 2 sentences for each one, and that's what you're going to be doing on page 76. So pause the video to make sure that you have this information written down, just so you can follow along, okay? And then we're going to move on to 77, okay? Can we see that? Yeah, we can see that. All right, ready? So I'm going to erase this, okay? Now, on page 77, what we're doing is we're doing the brainstorm. Now the topic, what I want you guys to do, my favorite, can we see that? Here, I'll write it a little lower so that glare's not in the way. So the topic, my favorite animal. Okay, so that's what we're going to be writing about in this part right here. Now I'm going to help you guys out with the brainstorm. So, we have the usual, right? We have our middle section that says animal. So, what you could write about, you don't have to, but what will help you is if we could write about where they live. Where do they live? Do they live in a cold place, in a hot place? Which continent, which country? Okay? What do they eat? So what do they eat? Do they eat plants? Do they eat meat? Do they eat both? Okay? Let's go with what do they look like? So what do they look like? Describe them. Tell me if they have fur, if they have shell, if they have scales, if they live in the water. Okay, something like that. Another thing you could talk about is why do you like it? So why do you like this animal? Is there a reason? What is the reason why you like it? And then the last one you can talk about is, have you ever seen one? Okay? Have you ever seen your favorite animal in person? Or have you just seen it on TV or online or something, okay? So that's what I want you guys to write about for this one right here. I just gave you a bunch of good ideas for to write about. So you can easily fill out every single line, okay? So pause the video to make sure you have this information. That's our lesson for today. If you guys have any questions, call or email the school and we will help you. That's our lesson for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Bye, guys.